Hey, hello, how are you? Today I am going to talk about the second part of this idea of report to the speech. In this occasion, I am going to talk about yes/no questions, WH questions, commands, and requests. So, let's start. Yes/no questions with B, direct speech. Am is are plus the person plus the complement, and very important, the question mark. Example, are you a teacher? Now, if I am going to report this question, the first thing that I need to remember is that I need to forget about the structure of the question. So please observe the structure. If, the person, the verb in past, and the complement. Are you a teacher? Mark asked Mary if she was a teacher. Is your mom tall? John asked Bob if his mom was tall. Are your friends funny? Anne asked Amy if her friends were funny. Another thing that you have to remember is that in the yes/no question we use the question mark. Well, in the reported speech question you have to forget about it. Alright? Well, let's continue. The same, but now WH questions with B. Direct speech. What, where, who, and then am is are, and then the person, and then the complement, and very important, the question mark. In the reported speech question, we use the WH, the person, the verb in past, and the complement. Example 1. Why are you a teacher? Mark asked Mary why she was a teacher. How tall is your mom? John asked Bob how tall his mom was. What are your friends like? Anne asked Amy what her friends were like. Let's continue. Now, yes/no questions with simple present. It's necessary to use do or does, and then the person, depending, no? Do for I, we, you, and they, and does for he, she, it. The verb in the normal form because it's a question, the complement, and the question mark. Please observe the reported speech structure. If, because it's a yes/no question, the person, the verb in past, and the complement. Example 1. Do you speak English? Mark asked Mary if she spoke English. 2. Does your mom cook pasta? John asked Bob if his mom cooked pasta. Do your children drink water? Anne asked Amy if her children drank water. Let's continue. WH questions with simple present. What, where, who, when, do and does, person, verb in the normal form, the complement, and in the reported speech question we have WH, the person, the verb in past, the complement. Where do you work? Mark asked Mary where she worked. When does Betty cook pasta? John asked Bob when Betty cooked pasta. Why does Amy drink water? Anne asked Amy why she drank water. Now we have yes/no questions with simple past. In simple past we use did, the person, the verb in present, the complement, and the question mark. In the reported speech, yes/no question with simple past, we use this structure. If, because it's a yes/no question, the person, the past perfect, and the complement. Remember, forget about the question mark. Example 1. Did you sell your car? Mark asked Mary if she hath sold her car. Did you cook pasta? John asked Bob if he had cooked pasta. Did you call your dad? Anne asked Amy if she had called her dad. Now we have WH questions with simple past. What, where, who, when, plus did, plus person, plus the verb, and the complement, and very important, the question mark. In the reported speech WH question, we use this structure. The WH, no, who, when, what, where, the person, the past perfect, and the complement. When did you sell your car? Mark asked Mary when she had sold her car. Who did you cook pasta with? John asked Bob who he had cooked pasta with. Why did you call your dad? Anne asked Amy why she had called her dad. When were you born? Miguel asked Lily when she had been born. All right. Now, let's continue with yes/no questions with present perfect. We use have or has, the person, the past participle form of the verb, the complement, and the question mark. In the report to the speech structure, we use if, because it's a yes/no question, the person, had plus past participle, and the complement. Example: have you sold your car yet? Mark asked Mary if she had already sold her car. Have you been to Oaxaca? John asked Bob if he had been to Oaxaca. Has your sister called your dad? Anne asked Amy if her sister had called her dad. Where has your mom been? Miguel asked Lily where her mom had been. All right. Now we have some questions with some modal verbs. Remember, in the normal question we use the modal verb, the person, the verb, the complement, and the question mark. In the reported speech question, we use the same structure: if, person, modal verb, the second verb, and the complement. Examples: may I go to Puebla? Mark asked his mom if he might go to Puebla. Will you marry me? John asked Betty if she would marry him. Can I jump on my bed? Anne asked her dad if she could jump on her bed. Now we have the same but with a specific question. Remember the structure: who, where, what, when, and then the modal verb, and then the person, the verb, and the complement, and very important, the question mark. In the reported speech question, we use, well, the same structure that we have been using in the past specific questions: the WH, the person, modal verb, the other verb, and the complement. When may I go to Puebla? Mark asked his mom when he might go to Puebla. How long can you run non-stop? John asked Betty how long she could run non-stop. What will we be doing in 10 years? Anne asked Cindy what they would be doing in 10 years. Well, now we are going to work with something a little bit different, because we are going to work with commands and requests. Well, let's start with commands. Stand up. Peter asked Jason to stand up. Don't do that. Pollock told Charlotte not to do that. If you observe here, this expression, this command is in affirmative, stand up. So when I am going to report a command, it's necessary to use to and then the instruction, the imperative form. But if I have something in negative, for example, don't do that, in the report to the speech structure, it's necessary to use not before the infinitive and then the instruction. Don't do that. Pollock told Charlotte not to do that. And then we have a request. Can you help me? Mia asked Eva to help her. Can you help me looks like a normal question, and in fact it is, but this person is requesting something. So if I am going to report a request, it's necessary to forget about the normal structure, and it's necessary to use the infinitive to before the request in this example. And then, can I have the check? The client asked the waiter to have the check. Okay, beautiful people, thank you very much. Please recommend my videos if you like them, of course, and if you consider that this video can help other people, please share it and recommend it as much as possible. Well, thank you very much, and I will see you next time.